Seishi. One more. What a good girl. What a good girl. Sweetie girl, yeah. Crime diggity.
What?
What up? What up?
Hey.
Hi, beautiful people.
Hi, beautiful angel.
Ooh, a little Palo Santo.
Yeah. Love it.
Did you burn your finger?
I just cut it with a knife.
Ooh.
Swear I'm gonna cut my finger off if I keep having to cook, for God's sake. Hang on.
That is a hazard. That is a hazard, cooking.
I'm tired today. Ugh.
I'm tired too.
Not from work.
Yeah, I just got done.
You guys, can you believe it's been almost a year since we went to Thailand?
I know.
Crazy. It's
So
insane.
No, I can't actually believe it.
And what else I can't believe is that we're not going in March.
You're not? Oh, so did you postpone it or what'd you do?
Well, we're trying to postpone it to later this year, but we still don't know.
We're trying to do October or even November, but she can't give us any for sure information because nobody knows what the hell is going on.
Claudia!
Hello! I'm joining.
Claudia!
Hi, it's nice to see everybody. Kind of seeing you.
Are you in Salt Lake or Torrey?
But we're leaving tomorrow morning.
Wait, are you gonna be down there this weekend?
Yeah. Are you gonna be there?
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a hike or something.
Yes, I would love that.
Okay, sounds good. Good.
Sorry, it's just for people who live in Torrey and Teesdale.
Oh, cool.
Great, we can't hear anybody yet. We're just gonna keep messing with this.
You're all invited.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be fun? We've got to do a big yoga thing in Torrey, definitely.
Yeah, in fact, Katie and I were just texting about that. We're gonna do, as soon as it's safe to do so, we're gonna do a yoga retreat in Teesdale at the house.
Nice. Fantastic.
So,
I like it.
Hey, Keisha.
Cool.
Hey, Seychelle. Seychelle, can you hear us? Okay, good. Seychelle.
Hi, Em. Good to see you. Yeah.
I am.
Fantastic. Wendy, and is Kennedy there too?
She is. She's coming in.
Hello.
Nice. And
Yes, Debbie.
And
Hi,
is
poopies.
Tanya there too, Andrea?
She is, yes.
Okay, awesome. Yay. Pretty fun. Oh, and Zoe is going to sing today.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Zozo.
I just called her and she's like, because I feel kind of bad because I only call her on Wednesdays. And she's like, oh yeah, it's Wednesday. You want me to sing?
She's the best. We love her.
But you know,
This house looks like it's in a magazine. Look at that. Is that Home and Garden? Is that better Home and
I
Garden?
know.
Square?
So put
or
together.
is that like a screensaver or is that no?
You have a fake background on?
Oh my gosh.
That's funny. Did you hear us, Claudia? We're talking about you.
You are, what'd you say? What?
We're saying that your backdrop, your room looks like a magazine. And wondering if that was your screensaver or if it was real, but it looks like it's real because we
That's
just
not
It's
real.
pretty-
That's not real.
It's real. It's our house.
Oh.
And I would love to take credit for it, but I had nothing to do with it because Lynn does all of our design work, not me. So
all right.
Beautiful, beautiful.
thank you.
Belinda. Belinda. Okay.
My darlings, should we go? Am I teaching first, Katie?
Yes.
All right.
I will mute everyone and then unmute you, Kim. Thanks, guys, for being here. Hi, Andrea and Tanya. I didn't say hi to you in the dark. Love you.
But
Okay, and then Kim. Kim, you'll have to unmute yourself real quick.
All right, everybody, let's find our way to our mats. Thank you so much for coming. And if you got the playlist from Katie, you're welcome to start it at any time. But let's just take a moment to arrive at our seat and begin that transition into our practice tonight. Be letting go of some of the busyness of the day as sirens are going right in front of my house, so excuse that. Let your eyes close and start to tune into the breath. And allowing for that fullness of the in-breath, the expansion and the opening, and the cleansing and the release of the out-breath. And as you start to pay attention to the breath in this way, you can feel for Uddiyana Bandha. You might even place a hand at the belly. And you can feel this most exaggerated at the very bottom of your exhale when you're all the way empty. You can feel that toning of the abdominals and the navel pulling back toward the spine. And so just feel for that as we start our practice, this navel lock, this engagement of the belly as you start your practice. And you might even exaggerate it just a little bit, holding the breath out so you're completely empty, and then hollowing out the belly, navel to spine. And you can begin your Ujjayi breath if you haven't already. Just that gentle engagement using the muscles at the back of your throat. Good, and on your next in-breath, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest up, open through the heart and the front body. And then as you exhale, tuck your tailbone in around the spine and lean back, chin to chest. Inhale, let's open it up again, a little seated variation of cat-cow. And then exhale, tuck your tailbone around your spine. Let's do one more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then back to your upright position. And then just take a moment to move the body in any way that feels good to you, side to side, or you can start to come in a little gentle twist or a side bend, side stretch. Just take the next 4 or 5 breaths, moving in your own intuitive and organic way. Good. Nice. And then we're going to transition to hands and knees. So take your time to get there. Coming forward. And we'll start moving a little bit here through cat to cow. Opening the chest, lifting through the tailbone on in-breath. And then exhale, tuck and round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale to open and lift. And then exhale, tuck and round. Again, feeling for that Uddiyana Bandha, navel to spine. One more of these. Inhale. And exhale. Hug belly in, chin to chest. Now, let's come back to neutral, back to center. Try to keep your abdominals really strong and lifted and engaged, keeping that all steady. Extend the right arm forward and the left leg back behind. So starting with a little spinal balance sequence here. And try to keep your spine and your torso really sturdy and strong, abdominals engaged. The right arm and the left leg strong and straight and parallel with the ground. Take a couple more breaths here. Think about hugging that right arm and left leg toward midline and also extending out as far as you can go from end to end. Last full breath. And then exhale, let's bring it back to center, back to hands and knees. Again, feeling for that neutral spine. Send your left arm forward and your right leg back. Okay, so same thing, just on the other side. Strong and sturdy. So try not to round nor arch your back here. Lift through the belly. Navel pulls back toward the spine. And again, think about your left arm and your right leg as one straight line parallel with the floor. Couple more breaths here, pulling that right leg and left arm toward midline and reach, pull apart as far as you can go from end to end. Exhale, let's come back to all fours. Good, now we're gonna go back to the first side. So the right arm will go forward, left leg back. Now take your right arm out to the right and swing your left leg out to the left as much as you're able here. Try to keep the shoulders and the hips pretty level. The left hip will probably lift up a little bit and that's okay. Pull your right shoulder back. Try to squeeze the right shoulder blade on the back as you feel your breath here. Connect to your core. Kick your left toes forward 1 more inch and then swing everything back to center. Exhale, pull your right elbow towards your left knee, come into a little crunch. Inhale, stretch it back out long and lengthened. Exhale, pull it in, elbow to knee. Inhale, slow and steady, stretch it back out. Last one of these, exhale, pull it in, elbow to knee.
Stretch it back out. Bend your left leg. Reach your right hand back. Maybe reach for the foot or the ankle, coming into half bow. Kick your foot back into your right hand. Hug the right shoulder back. Lift your chest. 2 more expansive breaths here in your half bow. Good, and then re-extend the arm and the leg. Come back to all fours. And then I want you to take 3 big circles with your hips going clockwise. 3 huge circles. Just stretching out the hips, and the lower back, the sides of the body. Good. Now bring it back to center, back to neutral. And we're going to send the left arm forward and the right leg back behind. Now we're going to take the left arm out to the left and kick the right leg over to the right. Same thing. Try to keep your shoulders and your hips level. And it's okay if that right hip lifts up just a little bit, but pull toward that midline, navel to spine. Notice if your left shoulder is dipping way down, pull it back up and try to load that shoulder blade on the back. 2 more breaths here. Maybe kick the right toes forward another inch, and then bring it back, swing it back to center. Exhale, pull left elbow toward your right knee, do a little crunch. Inhale, stretch it back out, long and lengthen. Exhale, hug it in, knee to elbow. And stretch and lengthen it back out. Go at your own pace. 1 more of these. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach back out. Bend your right leg. Reach the left hand back. See if you can grab a hold of the right foot with the left hand. Kick into the hand, pull that left shoulder back, and draw your heart forward. Good. Couple more breaths here. And release your foot, re-extend the arm and the leg, coming back to all fours. Now you're going to take 3 big circles going counterclockwise with your hips. Big spacious circles. You can pause anywhere along the way. Good. Nice job. And when you complete that, come back to center, back to neutral, drop down onto your forearms and set up for Dolphin Pose. So forearms about shoulder width, parallel, or you can clasp your hands and make a little tripod. Let your head relax, maybe looking at your knees. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, tuck your toes under, lift your knees off of the mat. Let your head go. Maybe tiptoe forward just a little bit toward the face. Now the knees can be a little bit bent. Now this is really where I want you to feel for Uddiyana Bandha, that hollowing out of the belly, navel pulling back toward the spine. Keep your breath steady and consistent. Try to relax through your neck. See if you can actually nod your head yes and shake your head no in your Dolphin Pose. Also make sure your elbows are not slipping out, going wider than your shoulders. Good. Couple more breaths here. You guys can do it. Maybe lift your hips up a little higher. See if you can engage your core in a way to come out of the shoulders a little bit. Good. Let's take 1 more full breath here. Maybe send a sigh out your mouth, let it cleanse. Good, now listen carefully. You're gonna tiptoe back and actually drop the pelvis down and open up into a Sphinx pose. So shoulders pull back. You can imagine your forearms and your hands and your elbows pulling the ground toward your body as you telescope the rib cage, the chest, and the heart forward. Take another full breath here in your Sphinx pose, a little stretch of the belly and the front body. And then exhale back down to the floor. Take your arms back along your sides as you've set up for Locust Pose. So on your next in-breath, go ahead and float arms and legs up away from the floor, coming into Salabhasana, Locust Pose. Don't worry so much about how high your legs are, but activate your feet. Let's put a slight bend in our elbows and try to pull those shoulders back, opening up the chest. Good, stay here for a couple more breaths. Imagine you had a block either between your thighs or between your ankles, pulling toward midline. Last full breath as you lift up. Exhale, release and relax. Just turn your head to one side. And sometimes in between these poses, I like to place the back of one of my hands on my lower back, just in that lumbar curve, and feel the breath. So if you like to do that, you're welcome to. Good, and then we're gonna do one more Locust Pose. You can do exactly what we did, or maybe this time around you clasp your hands behind you. And as you're ready, go ahead and pull shoulders back and lift up into your version of Salabhasana. With the fingers interlaced, you have a little more leverage to pull the shoulder heads back and open up for your chest. You can even put a little bend in the elbows here and try to pull elbows toward one another. 2 more full breaths here. This is one of my favorite counter poses after Dolphin. Last full in-breath, open and lift. Exhale, release. If you can remember, turn your head the other direction and place your other hand on your lower back. Take one more breath here, everybody. Good. Slide your hands next to mid-ribs, press up to your hands and your knees, and then make your way into downward facing dog, this first downward dog of our practice. Just notice here what's happening so far in your practice, where you are feeling energy and heat and connection. Good. A couple more breaths here as you continue to lift through the belly, navel to spine. Good. Let's bend the knees and look forward toward the hands. Step or hop forward toward the top of your mat. Lengthen your spine. So halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold and pull it back in. Good. One more time like that. Inhale, lengthen, chest and belly away from the thighs. Exhale, fold it in a little bit deeper. Good. Let's come all the way up to standing on the next inhale. Stretch up tall, reach and lengthen up through the arms. Bend your elbows here, open up your chest. I'm going to take an extra breath. And then inhale, re-extend the arms. And then exhale, hands together, heart center. Good, you guys. Arms go back up on inhale, stretch up tall, lift and lengthen. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Hands down toward the floor. Halfway lift on inhale, lengthen through your spine. Now take the hands down to the floor. Before you go anywhere, I just want you to feel the ground with your hands. You might even start to shift your weight forward toward the pads of the fingers and your palms, starting to float the heels of your feet away from the ground. Good. If anybody wants to go right into crow pose from here, if it's familiar to you, you can work your knees up your triceps and do just a little balance. It's not required, it's just an option as we start to shift the weight toward the hands. Good, and now let's take it back to plank pose. So strong through your core, your legs, lifted at the belly. Now we're gonna bring the feet and the ankles right together. Shift your weight over to your right hand, your right palm. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Bashistasana, side plank pose, left arm goes up. Pull hips up away from the ground. You can always come down to the right knee or the right forearm. Maybe stretch your left arm forward alongside your ear and lift up, arch away from the floor. And you could even float that left leg up. Take one more breath here. And then exhale back to plank pose. Pause. And you're just gonna go to the other side. So feet and ankles right together. Shift over. Left hand to the floor. Right arm goes up. Pull hips up away from the ground. Strong legs, strong core. Good. Maybe take your right arm forward alongside your ear. Lift and arch away from the ground. And maybe float that right leg up. Good. Last breath here. Good. Bring it back to regular plank. Pause. Now you can go right to down dog or finish your vinyasa, chaturanga. Inhale into your cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good, you guys. On your next in-breath, right leg reaches back and up to a three-legged downward dog. Take an extra breath here, reach through the toes, try to keep shoulders and hips level. Now as you exhale, pull your right knee in toward the chest. Lift and engage your core, round your spine. Inhale, take your leg back, reach it up maybe a little bit higher. Exhale, pull that right knee in again. Like you're doing a little crunch. Good, stretch your leg back again, reach it up, and then exhale, pull this knee in, and step your foot all the way through, coming up into a high lunge or crescent lunge. You can always bring your hands to your right thigh to stabilize or to your hips. Eventually you can take the arms up, try to square the hips off, all 10 toes facing forward. Good. Give this a couple of breaths. Really pull that belly back, navel to spine, maybe drawing a little bit deeper into that lunge. Last breath here. Now as you exhale, we're going to take the hands down to the floor and step forward into a standing split. So the left leg floats up as you fold over your right leg. Now, you could keep the fingertips on the ground, or you could take one or even both hands behind your right calf or ankle, working with this little balance challenge. Feel the ground with that right foot, root down, and lift that back leg up a little bit higher. Take another breath here. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat and back up to your high lunge. Arms reach up. This time we're going to interlace the fingers up top. Draw index fingers toward the ceiling, squaring off the hips and drawing the tailbone down. Take another breath here. Now as you exhale, chest and belly towards your right thigh. Reach through your fingertips toward the front of the room and pick up this back leg, warrior three. You can take a different variation if you want. Breathe here. Back leg lifted in parallel with the floor. Good. Gently step that left foot back and send your arms back up. And then exhale, arms down, clasp your hands behind your back. This is the last version. Shoulders back, knuckles down, bend your back knee at a hover. Okay, so left knee at a hover. Think about inner thighs pulling toward that midline, left knee, knuckles, tailbone pulling down, heart, crown of the head lifting up. Okay, this is our last hurrah, you guys, on the side. Straighten up this back leg, chest and belly towards your right thigh. Maybe that's where you stay, or let's pick this back leg up. So left leg in the air. It's kind of like standing splits and warrior three meet. Clasping the hands behind the back. I know that right leg is probably screaming at you right now. Take one more breath. Good, you guys, step it back. Come back upright. Holy shit, that's hard. Straighten up right leg. Turn the feet to the left. Take the arms out wide. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Prasarita, Padottanasana. If you need to like bend into one knee or the other, you can work with that. If you want to come into like a Spinal or a crouching tiger pose or any variation of this wide straddle. Take 5 deep breaths here. Good, last breath. Now, lengthen to a flat back. Now, this is kind of funky, but what we're gonna do is place the right hand to the floor, pick up your right foot, and sit facing the back of your mat in boat pose. Okay, did that make any sense, guys? Are you there? You should be facing the back of your mat in boat pose. And breathe here. Shoulders away from the ears, a slight uplift of the heart, belly pulls back, navel to spine. Take another full breath here, maybe straightening out the legs. Keep breathing through the discomfort here. Good. Now exhale, feet down, and you're going to turn to the right and go right back to down dog. Okay, so pop your hips back up, right back to downward facing dog. If you want to take a vinyasa there, you can. Let's all meet up in downward dog. Good, you guys. All right, lefty in the air, left leg reaches up, 3-legged downward dog. Take an extra breath here. And then exhale, pull your left knee in toward the chest, lift through your core around your spine. Inhale, the left leg reaches back and lengthen it up. Exhale, pull that knee in, strong and engaged. Inhale one more time, lengthen that left leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, pull the knee in, step your foot all the way through, coming up into your high lunge. Take your time to get here. Set it up. Set up your parameters, your container. If you want to bring your hands to your hips first or to that left thigh. Feel into your core. Squeeze those inner thighs toward midline. Feel your abdominals support you here. Belly pulls back. Maybe draw a little deeper into that lunge as you reach up. Now, as you exhale, send your hands down to the floor. Pick up your back leg, standing splits. Right leg floats up as you fold over the left leg. Now, you're welcome to keep the fingertips on the floor, or you could take one or even both hands back behind your left calf for a little balance challenge. Breathe into this, you guys. A couple more breaths. See if you can root down to float that leg up a little higher. Good, and then step right foot to the back of your mat. Come back up into your high lunge. And this time, you're going to interlace the fingers up top. Draw index fingers up and pull the tailbone down like a string getting pulled taut from top to bottom. Take another full breath here. Exhale, chest and belly to your left thigh. Reach the fingertips forward, keep reaching forward, float your right leg up so you're in a warrior 3 balance. Take any variation you'd like to here. Arms can always come down along your sides, or you can press into that left thigh. Take 2 more breaths here. Good, and then send it back to your high lunge. One more thing here, you guys, arms down, clasp your hands behind your back. Pull your shoulders back, bend your back knee at a hover. So the knuckles, the right knee, the tailbone lengthening down, shoulders back, lift and open up through the heart. Take another full breath here. Straighten up, right leg, chest and belly toward your left thigh. One last balance, you guys. We're going to pick up this right leg, and this is like a standing split meets a warrior 3. Okay, so a couple more breaths here. Good. Step that right foot back, extend the arms back up, and then open up to your right, parallel your feet, arms go wide. Exhale into your forward fold. Wide straddle, forward fold. Take some deep, deep breaths here. You can bend into one knee and then the other. See if you can relax through your neck and through your jaw, through your face. Good, you guys. Last breath here. Now you're going to extend, lengthen your spine. Now listen here, the left hand stays on the ground, okay? So you're going to push into the left hand, pick up the left foot, and sit at the back of the mat in boat pose again. Okay, so you should be facing the back of your mat for boat pose. Shoulders soft and away from the ears. The shins can be parallel with the ground. You can always support the backs of your knees here. Or for a little extra something, straighten out the legs. Try not to roll your shoulders forward. Pull the shoulders back. Feel for Uddiyana Bandha. Take another full breath. Good. Exhale, feet to the floor. You're going to turn to your left. So turn to your left, hands go back up to the top of the mat. Come back to your downward facing dog. Good, you guys. Take another full breath here. And then step or jump through to your seat and roll down onto your backs. Okay, the last thing we're gonna do here, going out with a bang, a little elbow to knee abdominals. So stack your knees over your hips. Your shins are parallel with the ground. So it's like you're sitting in a chair and you've just been tipped over onto your back. Even just holding the legs here, you can feel it requires a little bit of abdominal engagement. And then interlace the fingers back behind your head, the base of your skull. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift head and shoulder blades away from the floor. Let your head relax into your hands. Take an extra breath. See if you can tuck your tailbone a little bit. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Straighten out your right leg at about a 45-degree angle. Stay an extra breath. Tuck your tailbone. Bring your elbow closer to your knee and pull your belly down, navel to spine. Good. Inhale back to center though. So this is really slowed down and deliberate. Try to stick with my instruction. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Straighten out your left leg at a 45-degree angle. Stay an extra breath. Tuck your tailbone a little bit. Bring elbow closer to the knee and pull the navel toward your spine. Uddiyana Bandha, back through center. You can take an extra breath if you want. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Straighten out the right leg, 45 degrees. Stay an extra breath. Tuck tailbone, bring elbow closer to your knee and pull your belly down. Back to center. And exhale, left elbow to right knee. Straighten out that left leg. Stay an extra breath. Tuck tailbone, elbow closer to your knee. Really pull belly down. Navel to spine, back to center. One more time, you guys, each side. Right elbow, left knee, straighten out your right leg, reach through your toes. Tuck your tailbone, elbow closer to the knee. Try to get both shoulder blades off of your mat, belly down, back to center. Last one, left elbow to right knee. Straighten out your left leg, active, reach through your toes. Tuck your tailbone. Bring your elbow closer to your knee. Get both shoulder blades off of the mat. Belly down, back to center. Whew, and release. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open out wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Your arms can stretch out wide, or you can let your hands rest on your belly. You did it, you guys. Nice going. I'm gonna turn it over to Katie.
All right, my friends. Thank you so much, Kim. That was so hard. So take a few more breaths, just resting with your feet together, your knees apart. And if there are any adjustments that you want to make to your space, take some time within those next few breaths to do so. So if you want to go turn off your lights, if you want to light a little bit of sage or Palo Santo, if you want to put on a sweatshirt, grab a bolster, a pillow, a blanket. I won't cue with any of those props, but if you have them and you want to use them, you're more than welcome to. So either just taking a moment to kind of change your energy, start to slow down, start to ground down a little bit more. So taking a moment to either change the energy of your space or just change the energy within your body. And eventually we'll all just meet back in the same position, Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees apart. We'll be here for about 5 more breaths. And anytime you like, you're welcome to take a big audible sigh out your mouth. So after I do a power practice, just like we did, my body feels like I feel those endorphins moving through me. My breath feels a little bit elevated. My heart rate feels a little bit elevated. So take this time to just slow down, to change your energy internally. Notice, are you tensing up through your face, through your jaw, through your forehead? Are you tensing up through your shoulders? Maybe through your hands or your fingers? Just by bringing awareness to those spaces, start to soften a little bit more. Take a couple more breaths here. Good job, you guys. So if you'd like, you can use your hands on the outsides of your thighs. Everybody draw your knees back up and then hug your knees towards your belly. So I like to grab hold behind my thighs or my kneecaps. You might also grab the fronts of your shins. So whatever feels good to you, and just find a gentle rock back and forth, side to side. You can even circle your knees, trace the outline of your sacrum against the ground. And just breathe down into your low back, your low belly. And then from here, allow both of your knees to fall heavy to the right side. Left arm reaches out to the left, and I always like to kind of scoop my hips around a little bit. So feel free to just adjust your hips and find a place that feels really good to you. So you want a long line from your left shoulder down to your left hip stacked on top of right, and then your gaze is up or over your left shoulder. You're welcome to close your eyes. And if you do have any props that you want to use, maybe a pillow in between your legs, maybe something heavy, slightly heavy on top of your left thigh. So if you have a blanket and you want to set it there, a sandbag of any sort. Otherwise, without any props, just allow your body to give into gravity with each breath. We'll be here for about 7 to 10 rounds. So rather than anticipating what comes next, allow yourself to truly just be here, to settle in. Notice, feel, and observe. Let's see if you can feel every single breath flowing through you. So each time you inhale, feel that expansion, that spaciousness, that vastness. Each time you exhale, let it go. Find emptiness, find stillness at the bottom of each exhale. Give yourself about 4 more rounds. You're welcome to exhale out your mouth anytime. Good, you guys. And then as you're ready, at the end of an exhalation, roll back onto your spine and take a moment to find a happy baby pose in between sides. So adjust your hips as much as you need to. They should be straight down from your shoulders. Knees to the outsides of your ribs, soles of your feet face the sky. Grab hold of your feet if you can. If that feels like too much, grab ankles, shins, or just the backs of your thighs. Flex through your toes, pull down with your arms, and press up through your heels. So rather than rounding your back a lot, have the intention of creating a neutral spine. So press your tailbone towards the ground, draw your shoulders towards the ground, find your little rock if it feels good to you. So any exploration that calls to you, about 3 more breaths. Send your breath down into your hips, down into your pelvis. And then from your happy baby, draw your knees towards your belly. It might feel good to take a full body stretch just quickly in between. So if you'd like, reach your arms and your legs long and then draw your knees in. And from here, we'll roll onto our left side body. So supine spinal twist. And again, you don't just have to let your knees fall to the left and then that's where you have to stay. So let your knees fall to the left and then kind of scoot your hips around until you find that sweet spot. You want to feel the twist coming right from underneath your ribs. Right arm can reach out to the right or maybe cactus with your right arm against the earth. Gaze up or over your right shoulder and use your props any way you want if you've got them. Think big, deep Buddha belly breath, slow and steady. Exhale a little bit longer than you inhale, so 2 or 3 seconds more if you can. If you want to count your breath, go for it. Make it a meditation. About 4 or 5 more rounds. Exhale out your mouth anytime. And allow yourself to just be here fully. So give yourself this time. For a long time in my restore practice, it was really hard for me to just be still, to go slow and be okay with that. Now it's like one of my favorite things in the world. I like to think of it as being intimate with yourself. So rarely do we take time to just be with ourselves and go inward, notice what's going on inside. So this is your time to explore your inner workings, the feelings, the emotions, the energies that are moving through you. You're just seeing yourself. Experiencing yourself from the inside out. Take about 2 more rounds. I will ultimately leave it up to you. So when you feel pretty much even on both sides with your twist, come back to center. Adjust your hips as necessary. And let's take one more full body stretch. So even if you didn't take it before, take it this time. Arms long, legs long. pull yourself apart. So imagine your body's made of taffy. Somebody's pulling on your wrist, pulling on your ankles. Take one more inhale. Exhale, draw your knees in again. I'm gonna grab the backs of my thighs. You can grab wherever feels right to you. We're going to rock forward and back this time. So massaging the length of your spine against the ground. Round through your back, chin towards your chest. Draw your belly button towards your spine so you have a little bit of core engagement. Take about 7 or 8 rocks. So you want to build up some momentum, but stay in control. So you could stop at any time if you wanted to. And then after you've taken about 7 or 8 rocks, we're gonna rock up, cross our ankles, bring our hands to the ground in front of us, and then tabletop position, hands and knees. So you might need to kind of scoot back a little bit so you're nice and centered on your mat. And then start to move from hands and knees in any way that calls to you. So maybe cat-cows, maybe hip circles, maybe something totally abstract and intuitive. So you can start to bend through your elbows, let your heart melt towards the ground. Maybe you want to sit back into a child's pose or some variation of it. Perhaps you want to come forward to cobra, up dog, scorpion cobra. So just exploration of your spine, your shoulders, your hips from the position of your tabletop. Take about 3 more breaths. An invitation to close your eyes for those 3 breaths. All right, my friends, let's take it back to our regular tabletop. So just neutral spine. And then listen, everybody crawl your hands all the way off the left side of your mat, and you're gonna spin your entire body to face towards the left side of your mat. So you're doing a tabletop now, facing the long left edge of your mat. From here, we're gonna go into floor frog. So if you want a little extra cushion for your knees, you can fold over the front and back of your mat like this. If you have a blanket and you wanna put it underneath your knees, that's also a great option. Some people might not need any extra cushion, so it's totally up to you. From your tabletop, start to walk your knees forward and back. So towards the front and back edge of your mat. Turn your toes out so the inner edges of your feet, your arches, are against the ground or facing towards the ground. So walk your knees as far apart as you can. So once you've kind of found your edge, that's as far as you can go. Perhaps you can bring your forearms down. Perhaps you can rest your forehead down. If not, that's perfectly fine. Keep your toes gently flexed, and then think of pressing your butt back behind you. Just nice and easy. Don't force anything. Don't strain to get anywhere, but just allow yourself to kind of settle around those hard edges. Big deep breaths. And if you're feeling a lot of sensation here, that's completely normal. This is a big stretch. Send your breath wherever you feel it the most. Visualize your breath moving there. Exhale out your mouth anytime. We'll take about 7 or 8 rounds. The longer we are here, maybe you can move your knees just slightly wider, not a lot. Maybe you can press your bum just a little further back. Soften through your face, soften through your heart. About 3 more rounds. All right, now listen, you guys, this is a little bit funky. So all you're gonna do from here is walk further forward with your arms. So if your hands are down, walk with your hands. Otherwise, forearms walk forward. Let your feet lift up and hips come down. So now my feet are lifted, my hips are on the ground, my belly's on the ground. Bring the soles of your feet together and really think of pressing your heels together. Try to make it so you can see my legs. All right, and then once your heels are pressing together, imagine you're trying to press the inner edges of your feet down towards the ground, towards the earth. You can relax your head down, turn your head to either side, or bring your forehead straight down, up to you. So for a moment, you're just letting gravity take hold of your legs. Imagine that somebody was just very gently pressing your feet closer to the earth with each breath. Keep your heels together. If your head is turned in one direction, turn it to the other direction. We'll take about 3 more breaths. Last round, exhale out your mouth if you'd like. Bring your hands to frame your ribs. Use the strength in your arms to push your upper body back up. Walk your knees back in, so you're back in a regular tabletop facing off the left side of your mat. You can unfold your mat if you folded it up, the front and back edges, and then sit your butt towards the back edge of your mat, extend your legs forward. So now just sitting, legs facing directly forward. Take a moment, bring your hands behind you. Fingers can face in any direction. Knees bent, feet on the ground. Bring your feet mat width distance apart. Inhale, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back and down. Exhale, let your knees fall to the right. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, knees to the left. Go back and forth a few more times with your breath. And I like to kind of incorporate my upper body a little bit. So as my knees go to the right, I twist my shoulders to the left. As my knees go left, I twist my shoulders to the right. So explore that if you want to. Maybe close your eyes. Try to keep your heart open, shoulders back and down. Good job, my friends. One more time in each direction. All right, bring your knees back to center. And I'm going to give you a few options. We're going to keep working with our hips a little bit longer. So first option is to stay here with your knees bent, feet on the ground. Bring your feet in hips width distance apart. And you're just going to take your outer right ankle to the top of your left thigh. So a variation of pigeon. If you'd rather take it down on your back instead, that's fine. Next option is double pigeon, fire log pose. So right shin on top of left shin, and both shins are parallel with the front edge of your mat. You want your outer ankle, your right outer ankle, on your left inner knee, not on your calf, on your knee. So for some people, your right knee is going to be way up. Just sit up tall if that's where you're at. If your right knee is level with your hips, stick your butt out behind you, reach forward through your heart, and then hinge all the way forward and down. So your variation of pigeon pose here. If you want to get into a down dog, take a regular pigeon, bring your right shin forward from down dog, that's fine with me. So your choice, your variation. Again, feel free to go down into supine pigeon on your back. Just keep creating space in your hips. Send your breath there. About 4 or 5 more rounds. Exhale and soften. So each and every exhale, something somewhere inside of you, around you, your energetic body, something softens, something surrenders just a little bit more. You don't need to see it, but you feel it on the inside. Ah. Nice work, my friends. Last couple breaths. If you are in a forward fold, end of your next exhale, slowly roll it up. Everybody else transition however you want to. We're going to meet in a seat with our legs forward for a moment. So legs straight forward, hands behind you. And then we'll give our legs a nice little shake out. Everyone, feet on the ground with your knees bent, feet hips width distance apart, hands behind you, fingers face in. Spread your fingers wide, press down especially through thumbs and index fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down, bottom tips of shoulder blades, hug your spine, lift your heart. Stay here if you want, just push down through your hands, lift your heart, or press into your feet, lift your hips, reverse tabletop. Hug in with your inner thighs like you're squeezing an invisible block. Keep your shoulders nice and open, heart open. Rather than letting your head just collapse back, think of extending back. Take one more big breath. End of your exhale, let it go, bring it back down, and then take your variation of pigeon with your left shin on top or left shin forward. So feel free to take it all the way down onto your back, figure 4. I'm gonna go with that double pigeon, fire log pose. So outer ankle, inner knee. So not inner shin or inner calf, inner knee. And if your left knee is way high, then just work on sitting up tall. If your left knee is even with your hip, you can work with your forward fold. So think of sticking your butt back, lengthening through your spine, lead with your heart as you hinge forward and then all the way down. Wherever you've chosen to go, big, deep breath, slow and smooth. Visualize your breath moving down into your hips, into your pelvis, groin, your low belly. Just allow energy to flow. Take about 4 more rounds. Exhale out your mouth at any time. Soften your face, your neck, your shoulders, your fingers. If you are in a forward fold variation, end of your next exhale, slowly roll it up 1 vertebra at a time. Everybody else, transition however you'd like. This time, we're going to find our way all the way down onto our backs. So I'm going to take my legs forward, kind of scoop my butt forward, and then just ease my way down. So however you want to transition, take it all the way down. And let's take one last big full body stretch. So arms long, legs long, pull yourself apart. Big inhale. Exhale, set up for a bridge pose. So feet on the ground with your knees bent, arms down by your sides. Feet should be about hips width distance apart, all 10 toes face forward, and heels line up right underneath your knees. Exhaling your breath, pull your belly button down and scoop your tailbone up. As you inhale, slowly peel your spine up off the ground, and at the same time start to reach your arms up towards the sky. At the top of your bridge, your arms should be reaching all the way back overhead. And then as you exhale, slowly set your spine back down, reach your arms up towards the ceiling, and then eventually arms return back down by your sides. So take a few rounds of these flowing bridges. Inhale to peel your spine up, arms up, and then all the way back with your arms. Exhale to set your spine down very slowly with your breath, and arms will end up back down by your side. So take it at your own pace. If you don't want to flow, then you're welcome to just hold in regular bridge, supported bridge. If you want to go for a full back bend, upward facing both, that's calling to you for any reason, then it is your practice. Go with what feels right to you. I will be here in my flowing bridges. We'll take about 3 more rounds or 3 more deep breaths. Try not to rush through it. Think of this as a moving meditation. So notice every little thing you can. See if you can move your spine super intelligently. So 1 vertebra at a time. Bring your awareness into your spine. Good job, you guys. Finish the round you are on. End up with your arms down by your sides and your spine on the ground. From here, let's take 1 more happy baby pose. So soles of your feet to the sky, knees bent. And if it would feel nice, maybe you want to straighten 1 leg, bend 1 knee a lot, and switch sides. You can even straighten both legs at the same time, kind of like a wide-legged forward fold, but now you're laying down on your back. And then after you've taken a few breaths in your happy baby, you feel complete with your happy baby. Take a moment to transition into your final relaxation. So if there is a wall nearby and you want to take legs up the wall for your final, for your Shavasana, you're more than welcome to. And before Zoe sings, I will just read you a passage. It's by Jeff Foster, of course. Your perfect imperfection is what this is called. As a human being, you are perfectly imperfect, gloriously flawed, your story forever unresolved. You will never reach a state of perfection, and that is why you are so lovable and human. Your flaws give you character. Your quirks make you unique. Your wrinkles and battle scars sing of life fully lived, a world fully tasted, a song fully sung, a long road traveled well. Yet at the same time, beyond your personal history, your narrative, your beliefs, your memories, your plans, your dreams of past and future, you are nothing less than consciousness itself, awake and alive here and now. You are undivided from the vast intelligence that moves the planets on their axis, inseparable from what I am. And your human flaws pale in comparison to your cosmic perfection. Your deathless and timeless nature, your original face prior to even the Big Bang. You are so imperfect, and that is exactly what makes you so perfect. So go ahead and just settle in, let your breath become effortless. And if you are listening to my playlist, feel free to pause it since we have Zoe here with us. And just relax and take it all in. Shavasana.
This is what it looks like right before you fall. Stumbling around, you've been guessing your direction. Next step, you can't see it all. And I don't have a name, I don't have a name, no. Who am I to blame? Who am I to blame? No. And I cannot be changed, I cannot be changed, no. Trust me, I've tried. I just end up right at the start of the line, drawing circles. I drink my whiskey, you sip your wine. We're doing well, sitting watching the world falling down its decline. And I can keep you safe, I can keep you safe. Oh. Do not be afraid, do not be afraid, no. Don't you put any more stress on yourself, it's one day at a time. It's getting pretty late, oh, damn it, I find, because you got like the hands that keep counting the time, drawing circles.
Take a deep breath in and let it go. Slowly begin to move through fingers, toes. Just bring gentle movements back into your body. And as you feel ready, roll to either side, fetal position. And take a moment there, just curling into yourself, letting the ground hold you, breathing into your back body, the back of your heart. And then use the strength in your arms to ease your way up into a seat. So eyes closed, sit up nice and tall. Exhale in your breath. Inhale, sweep your arms out, around, and up one last time. Just think of gathering in all the energy, all the efforts from our practice. Bring it all into your heart, hands to heart. And let's seal our practice with one big Om all together from all of our different spaces. So you're welcome to join me, or you're welcome to just listen, whatever resonates for you. So start by exhaling, empty out in your breath, and breathe in your voice. Thank you guys all so much for showing up from wherever you are at, taking time out of your day to do your work on your mat, to go deeper into yourself. On behalf of me and Kim, we thank you. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. And thank you, Zozo. You're amazing. And Papa Warren.
Thank you guys.
Love you guys.
On bass.
Oh, that sounded so good.
Got a whole production now.
I know, you got your mic stand and everything.
Well, that song's just very low, so I sing it very quietly. I need a little help on that one.
It is low.
It
I
was
love-
good.
That was perfect.
It sounded great.
Yeah.
Those are too
Yeah.
kind. I love you all.
I love you guys so much.
Brought a little light, so I'm not in the dark.
Hi, Jane.
Oh, Jane, is Jane in?
Yes.
Jane's in.
Oh, good.
Jossie Bear's in.
Joss, where is she? I don't see
I'm in
everybody.
the dark. I'm in the dark.
I'm glad you made it.
Gossip.
Thank you.
I won't be here next week. I'm gonna be in Mexico.
Wow.
Oh, what a wonderful thought.
I know.
Get back in. Hope you can get back in. If not, it's not the worst thing.
Just stay there. Seriously.
Yeah, if I were to get a positive test, which I won't because I already had it, but if I got a positive test, they cover everything for me to stay there for 2 weeks.
Really?
And I was like, damn, I wish I could get it again. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
I got my second dose just today, just at 4:30.
Yeah.
You're all
Jane.
covered.
Good luck.
Woo.
Hey, how you feeling?
Raced home to. I don't feel anything.
Good. That's what
Oh
we
my God.
Way. Yay.
We'll see how I feel tomorrow.
I know. Some people have said it's been like rough, the second dose, but then
Jane?
others feel fine.
Oh,
And James
I've
pretty.
heard-
James
Sound
pretty
like it
hardcore.
was rough.
What's that?
James made it sound like it was
Yeah,
rough for him.
yeah, he had a really he got sick for a couple days, like fever and stuff. But yeah, and I've heard-
Kennedy is actually getting it. She's already had her first dose, if you can believe that.
Oh my God, Kenny.
Great.
Because she teaches kids, so she got on the list.
Nice.
Amy, you have or no?
Yeah, I got my second dose and I didn't have any reaction.
Also,
I had very little. I drank a lot of water. I hydrated the day before and the morning of. And then I stacked ibuprofen and acetaminophen and took a melatonin and went to bed. And then
That sounds like what I do every night.
Trifecta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Okay.
was good. I woke up the next day and I ran 3 miles. I was fine.
Nice.
Awesome.
I skied all day today and I hope to ski tomorrow. So we'll see if this knocks me on my butt a little
Just
bit.
keep hydrating. Just hydrate.
Good idea. I'm drinking now.
Take your
Okay.
Tylenol cocktail for.
Love you guys. Thanks so.
Thank you, Zoe. It was
Zoe,
really
thanks so much.
great.
Yes.
It
It's
was,
amazing.
it was
That was a great
wonderful.
class too.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you,
Well,
Katie and Kim.
Great
A
playlist.
really good
Always.
class.
In fact, I'll turn it off now.